I think you
Yeah.
were mentioning a couple of great stories in the waste world or in some couple of the industries you worked with. Give us another example.
Yeah, sure thing. So basically, if you look at any of the services industries, we use other companies to derive products from. So I think what's interesting is in a P&L item, you see revenue and COGS generally to get to your profit.
Mm.
And that explanation of profit's actually a tough one because we just come back and say, oh, let's say it's, I don't know, 20% or 30%. And month on month, you're trying to explain a number. And if it's green or red versus your budget or forecast, everything's all good. But the why was really interesting. So I think
Mm.
we tried to really understand well, what changed from this month to last month or even this month to last year. And we figured out, hey, do we sell the same suppliers on the books? Did we renegotiate contracts? Did we do some promotional campaign or like what was the go here? So I think that's what then started truly letting us understand what's actually happening with the business. Are these sort of more one-offs and can we expect
Mm.
higher, or hey, we've actually set the new ceiling and now we'll actually flow from here. So understanding the supplier mix, the product mix, what's selling, what's not selling. Let's say if it's bins, the sales guys had a really interesting tactic where they'd, price some bins really high and some bins really low, the ones they knew they were going to be sold just to get through the RFPs. So you just had some real tactics. And when you're trying to look at the mix of bins, you're like, wait a second, why is it per cubic meter of this bin way cheaper than this one? You're like, oh,
Yeah.
that's the one the client needs. Okay, here we go. and
Yeah.
so then that's when you start understanding, like, well, the client can clearly see one bin's superiorly priced. We're just going to keep hitting that one bin over and over again. Like, okay, here
Mm.
we go. So, it was just good to see that and what strategies people thought they were executing and what the reality of that was as well, without getting their finance head in space.
Yeah. So actually, you talk about that bin story. I was
Mm.
reading on SaaS pricing as well. If
Uh-huh.
you go to an app or you sign up to like a subscription model, they'll usually have three tiers of pricing,
Mm.
and they'll have pricing that looks very unattractive, a pricing that
Mm.
looks low but doesn't have all the features. And there'll be a golden egg pricing, which is
Mm.
essentially feels like it's in the middle, but it's not really. It's more towards the higher end, but then you have all the
Yeah.
features, but it's slightly
Mm.
lower. They were talking about the psychology of how
Yeah.
a lot of these
Yeah.
apps and subscription models have set it up that way. And now it's
Mm.
almost coached that every subscription model is set up that way.
Yeah.
And those businesses target and build their margins off the base of that pricing tier. So
Yeah.
similar concept, different industries, which is really interesting to think about.
Yeah.
Inventory issues, Ash.
Yep.
You said inventory issues can reflect forecasting, process control, or service priorities. Now, inventory is probably a big thing in FMCG,
Mhm.
in manufacturing as well. Any call outs there?
Yeah, I think it's once again understanding things like anything major from, let's say, competitor strikes or industrial actions. You've got shortages. So, with, let's say, the egg shortage, we have some of the flus, the bird flus and stuff that are going around, creating mass
Mm.
shortages. Do you remember during COVID, Kev, when lettuce was not around and you
Yeah.
bought, put one head of lettuce, I think stuck it into your food for some reason.
My fried rice.
Via fried rice with $12 lettuce. And so there was a really understanding like what's going on and what was then driving the price behind stuff as well.
Mm.
So, and then finally was just regarding if there's any shortages or actual just changes in supplier as well, which sometimes I think can cause disruption. So what actually occurred to explain the numbers in our P&L. So I think
Mm.
that was something that's really interesting. And once again, when you just see say a spreadsheet full of numbers and then you increment another month without having that right commentary in place, it's
Yeah.
very hard to recall that.
Yeah. That's a good point. And ultimately, it comes back to that first point we raised. Some of these things just tell the business a story in numbers so they can make a decision off the back of this, react
Mm.
to it, or at least plan for it going forward. And ultimately, this is a good business partnering skill, isn't it, Ash?
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. So I think it's basically what we're trying to do is become that operational chain behind that number, right?
Mm.
So that's the most critical part. And once you can recall, imagine your finance commentary now. It's got so much more substance and so much more depth
Mm.
rather than, hey, mate, it's 2% up or 2% down. We've got
Yeah.
no idea why, but that's what we've been told.